Oh, hi. Hi there. I haven't seen you. Hi. Welcome or welcome back. As you can see or hear, I don't speak French today. I will speak in English because I really miss it. And I wanted to share a new video where I will be talking about something very interesting. I really hope you will understand what I will be saying because if not, I won't do this ever again and I will be sad about it. But let's get started. So, when I was in Poland visiting my grandma, I went to a library I really adore, and I will write it down here. And I found a book, and this book is, I think, the second book by the author Gary Chapman, who wrote The Five Love Languages. So, it's a very famous book I really liked, and I have at home actually. But the one I found at this library, it's very short. It's called What I Wish I Had Known Before We Got Married. So why this book? Why was I interested in this book? Because currently I'm not in any kind of romantic relationship, and actually I haven't been for a long time. And second, I'm not sure I ever want to get married. So this could be strange to think that this book really interested me. Well, to be honest, I really like psychology, coaching, and trying to understand humans better. So that's why I wanted to borrow it and read it and today talk to you about it. So let's do this. Oh gosh, this is really not comfortable. I'm happy I'm not an object or an outfit. So the first thing I have written and I found very interesting is divorce is a result of a lack of preparation for marriage and the failure to learn the skills of working together as teammates in an intimate relationship. So that's very interesting because we don't think about this. When we meet someone, we fell in love and we are very excited and we feel like this person is the right one, etc. But we don't think about preparation. And I don't talk about the fact that you have to prepare your wedding day. That's also important. You have to think about the perfect cake, the guest list, etc., etc. But marriage is a preparation in the sense that you have to talk about some things and not just feel this euphorical stage like this person is perfect for me. I really feel connected to her, but don't feel connected talking to this person about certain matters that will certainly change your life after you will get married with this person, and not only in a positive way. Also, what is interesting here is when he talks about teammates, because I think it's very important too that when you are in a relationship with someone, a love relationship with someone, you are first friends and then you are partners and then you are parents, for example, or whatever. It's super important to be first friends because you can know that you are allowed to be yourself in front of this person. You can tell him or her whatever and he will listen and understand and take the time for you. So yes, I think first the idea of a friend relationship is super important. Ooh. There you are. You scared me. So then the author writes about the fact that in a relationship, first we tend to make little effort because everything seems so easy, right? But then there is a stage where you have to be more intentional and pay more attention to your partner and her or his needs. Of course, in the book I was reading, the author talks also about the five love languages because that's very important. So, in case you do not know what the five languages are, it's actually the languages you make someone know that you love them and other people know they can show you their love throughout these things. So basically you have words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, what else? Quality time and physical touch. So for me, for example, we could say that my first love language, and we can have several ones, would be quality time or act of service. I think acts of service more because when someone does something for me or helps me out, I really feel like this person likes me and cares about me and shows me his, her approval and affection throughout this. But another person, for example, would be receiving gifts. Let's see, if your partner cheated, for example, but you still love him, love her, maybe receiving gifts from this person would prove to you that he, she still cares. Or maybe you are more into physical touch, you love hugging, kissing the other person. If he or she does it to you, you feel marvelous. So, yeah, these are the 5 love languages. Then the author talks about parents, and I think that's a very important component in a relationship, because we don't think that the education we had, the parents we have, and all this environment we have been into or still are influence greatly our romantic love relationship. Gary Chapman writes, if he has a parent with a destructive lifestyle, the responsible action is to enroll in a class, read books, talk with counselor, discuss with your partner about what you are learning. And it's the same physically. So for example, if your father or your mother maybe at 50, 60 changed an habit and for example, started drinking or started complaining more, it's very possible that you, at the same age, you would start to engage more in these behaviors. And so it's the same physically. Let's say your parents, for instance, cut his, her hair very short. At the same age, you would also do this. Conflicts teach us how to love, support, and encourage each other. And that's like mind-blowing to me, because all my life I thought that when I had a conflict with someone, that would mean that it's the end of the relationship, because I felt like if I couldn't connect at 100% with the person, and if we don't have the same way of seeing things, seeing the words, and feeling the same things, it wasn't worth it, because I felt disconnected and maybe unsafe. But I was just scared, basically. So conflicts are important because it's impossible in a relationship. It can be a friend relationship, a co-worker relationship, a relationship with a family member or whatever. Even with your cat or your dog, at some point you will have conflict, because it's impossible to be all the time on the same page. So this is a mistake I made that make today me think in another way, a more healthy one. Each time you have a conflict with someone, try to step back and try to understand what the other person is really saying. Why is she thinking that? And why is this triggering you so much? It would be also wise in a relationship to have a listening time, because often as human beings we tend to always want to talk, to express ourselves, to make the other know how we feel. But I don't see often people, me included, take the time to just see the person and understand what they are saying, not thinking about, oh my gosh, do I have something on my teeth, or have I closed the door at home before leaving, or trying already to tell the other person that she's wrong even if she has said just one sentence. So setting a timer, for example, for 5 minutes and letting the other person just talk, and we just step back and listen, that's very powerful. There is, I think, a Backstreet Boys song, and the guys are singing, I want it that way. Tell me why. And that's interesting, because Gary Chapman writes that often in a relationship we wanted things to be our way. We don't think that as a team in a relationship we should find a way to have it our way, so your partners and yours together. And very often I remember in my previous relationships where I was really selfish, because I was like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't really care about this, so it's gonna be just my way and that's gonna be perfect. Well, guess what? It's not working like this. If you are single, it can work your way in a certain degree, because if you want to have relationships with other human beings, like at work or with friends, you cannot always have it your way, actually. So that's something I think is really important and wise to talk about. Because yes, I think sometimes your partner will watch a movie you adore, but he doesn't care about, just to make you happy or to share a moment with you. And maybe sometimes you will have to go to a football game, even if you couldn't care less, but it's your partner and it's important for him. So, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I get very frustrated, very angry at life and at anything actually that is not working my way. And so in a relationship, it's kind of cool to tell your partner when you really don't feel like talking, when you feel like you will scream at the person all the time because you are in a kind of unconscious state. You can say, honey, darling, I'm really sorry, but now I need to take a walk, to be out of the house for an hour or two. And when I will come back, we will talk about this. Or we will talk about this maybe tomorrow. Let's set an hour at 7. We can share a conversation about what happened, for instance. And that's a good way to handle things, I think, because often something happens, we tend to react, to say things or do some things we later regret. So then Gary Chapman talks about the apology languages. The first one is expressing regret. The second one is accepting responsibility. And the third one is making restitution. What can I do to make things right? When we have a conflict with someone and, for instance, we say something mean or unfair to the other one, we tend to feel bad, but we only go to the person and we say, most of the times, of course, I'm sorry. And that's it. And here, with what the author writes, it's really, for me, taking the entire responsibility and thinking about what happened, why it happened, and how possibly you hurt the other one by also hurting yourself. And if you just say, I'm sorry, like this, it's maybe not that sincere as if you would do these 3 stages. Because I think by doing this, you tend to learn from it and not do the same mistake in the future. And Gary also says that the only healthy response to an apology is forgiveness. Because sometimes we can say, that's okay, but we still have the hurt within ourselves. But once we forgive for real, we feel lighter and we feel like we can start over and be lighter and be more free. Then there is a section about tasks. Because oftentimes when you are in a romantic relationship, you live with the person, right? And sometimes you have to cook, you have to take care of the dishes, you have to take care of the kids, you have to take care of the garden, you have to take care of the washing machine, you have to take care of a lot of things. So with your partner, it's important, if that's possible, before moving together, or even if you are already in a flat with the person, to say, okay, I, for instance, hate cooking. So do you like cooking? Is this something you could do? While I, for instance, would take care of the garden or would take care of the car if there is a problem, because I really like doing this. So trying to find things you enjoy more and let the other person take care of the rest that he also likes to do. And I know that sometimes it's hard to find cleaning or tidying up to be fun, but it could be, for instance, if we do this together. Like, I imagine I'm like, I'm in a movie now where I think that we could put the music very loud and just dance while we are cleaning stuff. That could be cool. Yeah. I live in an imaginary world now, because I don't have a partner, but it's fine. Also, there is a moment in the book where Gary Chapman talks about the fact that to have sexual fulfillment, you need to communicate your needs to your partner. Sometimes I feel like people think that we can read their minds, and I'm the first on this category. I'm sure that everybody knows what I think. They can guess by seeing my face, what I need, what I want, what I desire, etc., etc. No, we are not robots. We are just humans. He talks about the fact that we need to communicate in this section where he talks about, yes, sexuality. What do you like? What don't you like? And by this, you create an even more fulfilled and intimate relationship. That's really important. But sometimes we do feel ashamed because we often didn't learn to express our needs, our emotions, our desires. So we feel like we are doing sometimes something wrong, while it's not the case at all. The more you express yourself, the more you express your needs in a respectful way, of course, the more the relationship can work, because we understand each other better, because we are not guessing, oh, should I do this, shouldn't I do that. If you don't say anything, people cannot know, so that's cool. Okay guys, now I will talk a little bit more about what I already said at the beginning of the video regarding the 5 love languages. The more you know what the other person has for a love language, the more you can, I think, stay connected to him or her. For example, if your partner loves to be hugged, if he's happy or if he's sad, or if she's happy or she's sad, you know that in order to make him, her feel better, good and loved, you can hug him or her. Oh my gosh, this sentence. Actually, I wanted to say that I'm really sorry for all the mistakes, English mistakes I have made throughout this video. I apologize sincerely. And I will do the 3 stages. And also for the 5 love languages, I think that's cool if you also try to learn what are the love language or love languages of, I don't know, your boss, your co-workers, your best friend, your neighbor, etc., etc. So you feel that there is a more authentic link between you two, because sometimes I think we can do things that we consider as great for the other person, but the other person do not receive that the same way you think. For example, if, let's say, my boyfriend gives me gifts every week, gives me jewelries or gives me I don't know, expensive stuff, actually that would make me feel quite uncomfortable, because that's not my love language. Let's think about it. Okay, my dears, so that's all I had to say about this book. Actually, there are a lot more interesting things in this book, but I haven't written them down. I recommend you read the book, you borrow the book, or you buy the book, or even you listen to the audiobook, because I think it's really cool to have books like this. I'm really passionate about psychology and coaching, as I maybe said earlier. So this is a very good tool to try to be a better human and to feel better connected to others. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have some questions, do not hesitate. If you have something to add, please do in the section comments. I hope you liked this video. I wanted it to be a little bit weird but cute at the same time, so we will see the result at the end. If you liked it, do not hesitate to share it, to subscribe and to like the video. That would mean so much to me. And thank you so much also for all the new subscribers and the older one. I can't believe we are that much in this channel, and I'm really happy about it. So yeah, the next video I think will be in French, because that was like a special episode of mine. I think that's it. Have a great night, have a great day, have a great evening, have a great life, and we see each other next time. Bye.